Okay, morning everyone. Isn't it crazy? I can't believe that already we're into May. Where is the time going? It's frightening just how fast the year is going by. It's 2021. And, you know, people have gotten tired of talking about the pandemic, haven't they? Yeah, it's been on since March of last year. And I've found people saying, okay, it's affecting us, it's impacting us, but let's just stop talking about it now. Let's move on and let's look to, yeah, talking about the positive things and not talk about all the stuff that weighs us down and gets us kind of heavy-hearted. But it's remarkable that so much time has passed where this has impacted the world so heavily. And it does, of course, have an impact on how we build our business, how things are changing. And I think one of the benefits that comes from this when change is enduring, like it has been in this scenario, with the way it's impacted business, communication, interaction, all that type of thing, is it doesn't just give us a fleeting impact of we need to temporarily adjust. What it does is it goes, we need to make some temporary adjustments, and then we find ourselves going, do these adjustments work for the better or not? And in many instances, a lot of businesses have gone, these temporary adjustments are actually proving to be profitable, to be worthwhile, and to be revolutionary in some instances. And as a consequence of that, they're deciding to stick with those changes. So I want to talk a little bit about today. I want to talk about change and some things that we can do. And I want to just give a framework. I don't want to tell anyone on the call what they should do to change their business, okay, or to make particular course redirections in their business. What I want to do today is provide a framework for self-reflection and analysis. We did a little bit of that in Mike's call last night in regards to work ethic, and we kind of had 10 different points of what makes up work ethic, meaningful work ethic, and we rated ourselves on a level of 1 to 10. And I think that was it's good to have these reflective moments. So that was, perhaps this becomes a 2-part series, yeah, in what we want to do with our businesses right now, in having that self-reflection from last night. I'd encourage everyone to check that out. I think that was worthwhile, having that that framework for evaluation. But I want to do a screen share now and give a framework of what we can utilize to reflect on our business, on what we might want to change or adapt here. And before I do this, I need to give context as to where I got it from, because I don't want to claim ownership of something that wasn't my brainchild, okay? It came from this book here called Blue Ocean Strategy. Really, really good. This was put together by a group of business school professors. You can see I got this a number of years ago, over 1 million copies sold. And it's called How to Create Uncontested Market Space, Make the Competition Irrelevant. The concept behind Blue Ocean, and I love this principle, is typically in business, we're always going after what they refer to as the ER. We want to be bigger, better, stronger, faster than the competition. It's the ER bit, yeah? I like that concept. They said, but in doing that, what we're doing is we're fighting in the same space. I want to get a little bit of their business. I want to get a little bit of theirs because I'm trying to be one up, yeah? And they said, if that was in the ocean, that would be red water. That's where the sharks are fighting for a greater section of territory, a greater sense of control there. And that's red water. But blue ocean, or red ocean, I should say, that's red ocean, where they're kind of fighting and they're scrambling and scrapping over each other's territory. But blue ocean is uncontested market space. It's places where people aren't fighting. They're not going for that that bigger, faster section, because what they're doing is they're differentiating in a whole new way and making themselves really unique and really different. And they give examples. One of the best examples that they gave was Cirque du Soleil. They said here was an industry, the circus, that was struggling and failing. Its reputation as an industry, weak, uninspiring, and it reached a point, or maybe when in its infancy and in its rise, it was doing well, yeah. But as entertainment as the entertainment industry changed and evolved, all of a sudden the circus was becoming irrelevant, wasn't it? It was expensive to bring elephants and lions and all sorts of big animals and have them travel around the countryside. The big names in the circus industry that were the lion tamers and the acrobats and what have you, were not really big names in the grand scheme of things now that Hollywood was born. Yeah, so how could they fight against the likes of the silver screen? And so so they were like, it's got this challenge here, hasn't it, where it's very expensive. The cost of a ticket for a night out was far more than it would be to go to a film, but they weren't getting the return on investment. So all of a sudden they had this problem. So what did they do? The inventors of Cirque du Soleil created uncontested market space, blue ocean. Instead, it wasn't a night out at the theater, but it wasn't a trip to the circus. It was somewhere else, wasn't it? It was something different. And they created this new space. They weren't trying to get a better space and compete with the neighboring circus. They weren't trying to fight against other things. They just created a new image, a new brand, a new identity. And I really like that. And as a consequence, they did more in terms of revenue in just a few years than what the inventor of the circus did in 100 years of being in business. Yeah, with the circus. They revolutionized what that looked like. And you couldn't really say that Cirque du Soleil was the circus, but it wasn't theater. It was just something really of its own making and invention. So with that in mind, I want to show you this framework that these great professors have come up with that we can use, and maybe we can take a moment today to reflect on how I can apply this in my own business. Okay, so hopefully you got some note-taking material. If not, this is being recorded. Watch it again, grab some note-taking material. You can write down, of course, on your laptops or whatever device you're using, but worth having a think here for what this represents. They call this the 4 actions framework. Can you see that okay? So here's the 4 actions framework. And you can see the objective here is to get to that center space where we create a new value curve. Take a screenshot of this if you want, yeah, by all means. So you've got 4 areas where you want to look at what you are engaged in your business. So let's start with eliminate. And this is interesting, isn't it? Because this is looking at industry, and you can look at this from a perspective of your own business. But what factors have you long competed on that should be eliminated? What this is saying is, are you trying to compete here in a space that is actually irrelevant? We do it because that's what everyone else is doing. Yeah, I've seen that far too often in business, where companies carry on a certain activity when it's no longer relevant. I heard a story once, a number of years ago, of I think it was a Christmas. It was Christmas time, and a family was gathering together for a big family dinner at Christmas, and a little girl noticed that her mother cut the ends off the ham. And she said, "Oh, Mum, why are you cutting the ends off the ham?" And she goes, "Well, my mother taught me to do this. It helps the ham taste better. If you cut the ends off the ham as you cook it, it's makes it more delicious and more juicy." And well, as fate would have it, the grandmother was going to be at dinner that evening, and this was what they believed was a family tradition that made their ham extra special. So the little girl asked her grandmother, "Grandma, why did you cut the? I understand you cut the ends off the ham. Where did you get that from?" And she said, "Well, it's just that the hams that we bought were too big for our oven. So I had to cut it off to help it fit." Right? And sometimes we inherit bad practice or a practice simply because it fit for the moment, but it doesn't necessarily fit now. But we keep at it because everyone else is doing it. We don't need to do that. So it's worthwhile considering, are there practices in my business that I engage in that are not necessary? And notice here that it's saying eliminate it, cut it out, stop it, don't do it. What is there that I'm currently doing that I should just simply stop? Okay, now flick to the right, because these are connected, yeah? The left and right and the top and the bottom. Now, what are some activities that I can do that have never been done before? That's a big question. That's not necessarily one that you might answer in a moment. But what are some things that I'm doing now, or that I should do now, that have never been done before? We're certainly seeing that presently, aren't we, as a result of, like I said, the pandemic, where there are companies that of necessity kind of went to working remotely and everyone started working from home. And now they're going, you know what, we're going to when our lease expires in our office, we're not going to renew it. We're all going to start working from home permanently, and we're going to give each employee a certain amount of money to kit out their home workspace, and we're going to give them that space that's going to be their new office. And that's things that have never been done before in some places. We've been doing that for a while because we work from home. But in regards to connecting with new people, in regards to building new contact lists, in regards to networking, in regards to making those connections, what are some things that you have never done before that you could start doing now? Something worthwhile considering here. And then going up to the top, what is something that you currently do, but you need to improve your performance and do it better? Okay, so this is something that is a part of the industry or part of what your business requires, but you need to get better at it. It may be, for example, I know that I need to contact people on my list. I need to add a certain amount of people to my list on a regular basis. I'm just not doing that in the right volume. Because at the end of the day, it will always come back to this fundamental activity. We need to add more people to our list, and we need to contact more people more frequently. The more that is happening, the more we start to see growth and change happen. So, what activities do I need to raise well above the industry standard? And then, and this one sounds interesting, doesn't it? Which factors should be reduced well below the industry standard? Well, what does that mean? What that means is we're spending far too much time and energy on things that are maybe relevant but not important. Yeah? What does that look like? Any thoughts on what that would be? An activity that we're engaged in that requires our attention, but we're giving it too much attention. This is where we get lopsided. I'm going to stop my screen share here. I think everyone's had the chance to see it long enough. And if you want that picture, I can post it in the WhatsApp as well. What that means is sometimes we get hobby horses in our business. Does anyone have a hobby horse in their Nikken business? You know, this is a hobby horse in their Nikken business. To me, is where we love, absolutely love, one particular aspect of our business far more than anything else. So we invest all of our time and energy into it, yeah, because we love it so much. But it's not creating balance in our business or creating results. But it gives us the illusion that we're working hard and that we're working smart. But we're not. We're simply serving ourselves. Yeah. So we need to get off our hobby horses and recognize that whilst this is important and good, it is important and good in the right quantity. Yeah. So with this, we need to understand what is the balance of the right activities. What are the things that we need to keep doing, but get in context in regards to how we perform, and not invest too much of our time and energy beyond that which is necessary. Let's get balance. Let's understand our priorities. In addition, what do we need to eliminate? Cut it out altogether. Just stop doing it. And just because someone else to the left of me is doing it, or I see other companies doing it, or I think someone else, if it's not right to be doing, stop it. Save the money, save the time, save the resources, and reinvest that time and money and effort and resource into something completely new and different that maybe has never been done before, but will give you a chance to really create blue ocean territory where you're now not fighting for competition for that little bit of extra business, but you're now something radically different, new and improved. I think we can do that. What I love right now is how Luis Kasuga is bringing Nikken back to this uncontested blue ocean space with the way that we're building the business. But what do I mean by that? One of the areas that makes Nikken unique and really puts us in blue ocean is first of all our product range. Our holistic approach to wellness really is very unique. And I really need to emphasize that a lot, because a lot of people talk about wellness, but they talk about it in the context of nutrition. And when Nikken talks about wellness, they talk about it in the context of nutrition, the air you breathe, the sleep you get, and the lifestyle that you live. We talk about it in the context of having a healthy mind and nourishing that, having a healthy body, getting our finances in order, having healthy relationships in our families and in our community, and getting balance in those areas. This is really unique and very special. At the same time, we've made it uncontested market space because we've put it in blue ocean. How? Because we have high ticket items and lower ticket items. In network marketing, most people will have the lower ticket items, the repeat purchases like nutritionals, yeah, if they're in that wellness environment. But when we've got water and when we've got sleep, and that which are high ticket items, yeah, a sleep system is definitely a high ticket item. Now all of a sudden we're different. I can't think of any network marketing company out there that sells mattress toppers, duvets, pillows, eye masks, yeah, with the technology that we have that do absolutely surround you in that magnetic energy, which helps you feel so good, which we need so much when we're bombarded. I say this because as we're connected with this blue light and all of these positive ions that are being emitted from our screens right now, but we're bombarded with it with our Wi-Fi enabled houses that are just 24/7, got that Wi-Fi and that positive ions just floating around us all the time, yeah? And we see the impact of this, which is very real, on people's well-being, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, that's taken an impact. It's taken a toll. And we've got solutions there. I love that Luis is putting 80% CV on the new sleep topper, which means something very important. It answers a fundamental question. Can you make money with Nikan? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We've got a powerful model that really makes it unique and special with our products, with our story, but we've got a vehicle here that if we're out there applying these principles that I spoke of earlier, where we diminish the things that are not important and give them the right attention, yeah? If we cut out the unnecessary, if we raise our level of performance in the things that matter most. And like I said, the things that matter most are getting out there and talking to new people. How are we going to change the world if we're not good, if we're going to keep the sleep system to ourselves? How are we going to change the world if we have world-class products, life-changing products that we don't share with others? We can't do that. We can't make an impact or leave a legacy. And we certainly won't get the check if we're not sharing it with others either, yeah? So as we do these things, apply that model in our business, we can start to see some meaningful change. So my invitation to each of you today is to see, first of all, that Nikan, as led by Luis, is applying these principles. They're making us unique. They're putting us into blue ocean waters. They're giving us uncontested market space. Our task is to seize that, to lay hold on it, to get our story right, as John Livesey has been teaching us. What is our story? Let's get our story right so that as we get out there and do more of the right activity, and maybe, like I said, get off our hobby horses a little bit, yeah? So that we can focus on the things that matter most in the right quantity of time, right quantity of effort, we will get the return on investment back into our business that we want and deserve, yeah? We all, as business owners, want to make more money. We need to look at where that money will come from. We need to see what our unique selling point is. We need to see where the uncontested market space lies. Get out there, tell our story, and make it happen. But we can do that. Barbara Bertucci, you've got your hand up. You want to say something?
I do, because I want to underline some things. There's two things that are vital this week. But before I give that one vital point, we've created some great customers, and it shows in the statistics the immunity #1 in sales. But really, that's consumable. And what we really need to look at is how many wellness homes starts have you started with that waterfall or the water bottle or the things that you can now dribble these information into about, you know, the topper and the fit. Air Power 5, you know, I'm hoping, and I'm going to write in about it being continued on for the next month, because, you know, right now we want to focus on the fit, and I'll underline that because it's unmeasurable. They're tangible things. You know, these are one-time well, not really. The necklaces aren't one-time purchases, but, you know, the waterfall is a one-time purchase, let's say. You know, the fit is a one-time purchase until you start dressing your whole home into that, and they see the benefit of it, and then they create their wellness home. I just had a woman ask me, what does it mean to be have a wellness home? And I said, you know what? You're almost there.
Yeah.
Let's look at things that you don't have. And so that was a really neat thing, because as she's turning 60, she wanted to like figure out what else do I need to have around me to support me? So the thing that I think, and Ben, you're really brilliant at doing these things, but to create urgency right now, to create urgency for the next, what do we have? 4 days?
Yeah.
Days of urgency. And that is, Nikan has given us the privilege of pre-ordering, not that it's discounted now or what's the new price going to be and what's my savings on it. It doesn't matter. Nikan's given us a privilege, a sneak peek to pre-order this discount. It's a pre-order discount. Let's create the urgency. And who out there wants to play? Yeah. Who out there go to the next level of their health and wellness. What does that look like? And this, this fit, this topper is amazing. The tourmaline, we know how to speak about it here. And so that's the urgency. And we up.
Yeah.
And I want to pass it back
Barbara,
to you.
yeah, thank you so much. You raised two very, very important points. We've got until the 14th for that. That's a few days. Yeah. So urgency there, fundamental, and capitalizing. I always say there is so much that is on the table that Niken gives us that often gets left on the table. Yeah. And we don't want to leave, gifts that are given to us behind. Let's take them, use them, make full use of them. We've got the air offer as well to the end of the month, of course, as you said, but importantly as well, Barbara raised that critical phrase. What we offer people is a wellness home. I love that. I love that phrase itself just makes me feel good. I've had some friends in my business that have had connections with like bed and breakfasts and small boutique hotels where they've wanted to offer wellness rooms, as a unique selling point in their hotel. And that in itself just sounds fantastic. You go into the hotel, would you like a regular room or would you like a wellness room? And it was like, oh, what's a wellness room? Well, you get an extra comfortable bed, and you get this beautiful, fresh, clean water, you get the sleep mats and so forth. And they'd have these little extras. It was primarily the sleep and the water that they offered them. You get the shower, you get the water, you get the topper, you get the duvet. And it was like, oh, that sounds really good. And the air purifier. And my goodness me, that was great. Barbara Richmond saying one of the first wellness bed and breakfasts there that she had created as well. What are you saying there? The first wellness B&B in Ontario in the early 2000s. But this is a fantastic concept. It just sounds nice. And Barbara, I'm sure you've had years of success with that as a result. Yeah. But it's just wonderful to give that. It just feels good. It sounds good. Get it in your room, get it in your bedroom, in your living room, in your kitchen, wherever it is. As soon as we have one product, we're starting the journey of a wellness home being created. And that's just a fantastic offering. We've got just a few days to pre-order with the sleep, the new Nature S Fit. Make the most of it. We've got a 30% discount on the air purifier till the end of the month. Make the most of it. Let's get urgent. Let's get busy. Let's make these next few days really, really count. We can do it. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care.